What is going on, guys? DragonTamerBlayde here, back from our Elder Scrolls Legends, and today we're going to start a versus arena run up. Looks like we have an old one going on here, so we're going to resign this one right quick. And then we're going to get on into a new one. My advice would be don't just randomly resign your versus arena runs, unless you have a lot of event tickets to spare, or something similar. Or tons of gold to spare, but I don't think most of us have tons of gold to spare with the expansion coming out soon. But let's see. Warrior is usually a very powerful arena class, but I feel like I played a little bit too much. So let's go for Monk. I don't really play Monk ever in arena. I feel like Warrior I usually do very well with. I just play it too often. As we have a very good pick right off the bat. Baroness is excellent. Master of Thieves could be incredible if we get Pilfer creatures. Beast Caller is just good at generating value. I think for me, it's going to be between these two. Master of Thieves is a little bit tricky, because if you don't draw any Pilfer creatures, it's kind of a dead 4-drop, although the stats aren't the worst anyway. Baroness is pretty solid. I don't know. Baroness could put you on the slower... Like, this is the kind of thing where I wish this was later in the draft, because... my gut tells me to go Master of Thieves just to try and get some Pilfer shenanigans. But I know the better option is probably one of these two. Let's just go Baroness. Okay, so now we got a 5-drop Prophecy, which is very tempting. A 3-cost Call of Valor, and a Revered Guardian. It's probably between these two. Night of the Hour is probably the better raw card, but this gives me some early game. I think I'm going to go with the Prophecy here. Alright, we've got Snowhawk Detachment, which is an okay card, not great. Marksman or Scouting Patrol. I think we'll go Scouting Patrol just for action synergy. They both generate 2 bodies. This does give us a guard, though. Yeah, let's go Marked Man instead, actually. So here's our Pilfer creatures we were hoping for. Swift Claw is an okay... They're both actually okay. They're both easily removed. Torval Crook obviously a little bit more resilient. This can help you if it sticks past the first turn. Kind of can help you snowball magica-wise. Immolating Blast is a decent comeback card if your opponent's kind of going wide on their board. But I think we're going to give the Torval Crook a shot. Okay. So while I think Clockwork Scorpion is probably the best card of this group, I'm tempted to go Murkwater Guide just because we don't really have that many early game options. Highland Lurcher isn't horrible either. But I'm leaning between these two. And I think I'm going to go Murkwater Guide just because, like I said, we need... Actually, no, we're going to go Clockwork Scorpion. And now we'll kind of try and fill out our early game curve. Butcher is an amazing card if you can get it for turn 1. And it's still probably worth picking, although Crocodile is also a pretty good turn 2 play with Prophecy as well. I think we're going to go with Crocodile instead. It's just more consistent. Forsworn Looter is pretty bad. Green Touch Spurgin is no way to guarantee it, although we do have synergy with these 2 cards. I still don't think that's consistent enough to count on, so we're going to go with the Skirmisher. We have no other goblins, but at worst it's a 4-4 for 4. From this, I'm going to go Brotherhood Slayer. It's just a great card, and it has Prophecy. Okay, so we've got another 1-drop. A Varanus Courier for some card draw, or an Assembled Sanitizer. 3-2 for 3 is not that great, or 1-2 with lethal is not that great either. Varanus Courier, like I said, not too bad, not too great either. Although we are kind of wanting to slow things down a little bit, so let's go with the Courier. Here we got some Goblin Synergy and a good 2-drop. We need both of those. Septum Guardsman, just not that good. Malefic Wreath, not horrible, especially in Arena if you need removal, but I think the Witch is where we want to be. Greenheart Knight, not that great. Paralyze is okay, but I think we're going to go for a Scouting Patrol here. Just keep collecting these early game options. We got Cog Collector, which would be another Pilfer creature. Snowy Sabercat's pretty good, honestly. Doggy Rot Mystic, we have no support, so it's between these two. I think we'll go with the Snowy Sabercat. Okay, so out of these cards, Dormant Centurion, we only have 1 action in the deck. Arrow to the Knee is just meh. And Thalmor Justicar, we don't have many actions to to trigger it, but I do think it's probably the best card out of these three. So we're going to go with that one. Okay, so we've got a Shivering Apothecary, which is kind of RNG whether it works or not. Or we have a Vicious Dreg, which can destroy an enemy support. So I'm leaning between these two. It's whether we want our own RNG support or try and destroy an opposing support if they were to play it. I honestly don't think Shivering Apothecary is that bad of an arena card. But Vicious Dreg is the better body. Because I'm looking at it as if her summon effect busts, or if there's no enemy support, obviously you'd rather play the drag on curve. So let's go for the drag. We have 2 neutral cards. So we can trigger either one of the Fabricants. I think I'd prefer the Kagudi over the Nyx Hound, just with the way our deck is going at the moment. More bodies is better. Priest of the 8, we only have 1, 2... Although this would generate 2. 3, 4... That's not a horrible percentage, actually, considering we only have 2 neutrals. So I think we'll go Priest of the 8. We're going to get a legendary pull. Undying Dragon, obviously, is bonkers. Shadowmere is obviously no. Black Dragon is very, very good. I think I want to go Black Dragon, actually. This is some decent life gain, but I think Black Dragon's just better on curve. So I got a Gearworks Spider, Palace Prowler, and Dwarven Ballista. Don't like the Ballista. Did I go with the Fabricant? No, I went with the Priest of the 8. Okay. So I think we'll go Palace Prowler. Helps us get ahead on Magicka, just like the Torval Crook. Winterhold Illusionist. How many summon effects do we have that I like? 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, 5, 6. So that's not that bad, but I think the Javelin's just where you want to be. So we got another Knight of the Hour, Clockwork Scorpion, and Oradin Paladin. Not enough action still to count on this card. Clockwork Scorpion still pretty good, but I think Knight of the Hour is the best pick here for Prophecy synergy. We don't have enough lethal creatures to reliably proc Shadowscale Partisan. In fact, we only have the one, I believe. So I think we're just going to go for the Hellstrom Footpad. Pretty good arena card. Skooma Racketeer, Murkwater Savage, or Two Moons Contemplation. I think we have a considerable amount of green cards where we consider picking this, especially with the Skirmisher. So we're going to go for the Savage here. Ooh, this deck is getting a little bit aggressive in a hurry, with some decent prophecies. Murkwater Shaman, obviously great, but Mournhold Trader is such a good card. I think we're going to go for it. And we'll take another Brotherhood Slayer. Just a great card. Raging Horker is not bad, but Phalanx Exemplar is just a fantastic card. So we're kind of becoming a mid-rangey deck. Slightly tuned towards the aggressive side. Between these three, this one's the worst of the bunch, I think. I think I'd rather the 2-drop instead of the 3-drop. But the Barded Guar can set up some trades. Let's go Barded Guar. Got Ferocious Dreg, Arrow to the Knee, and Sanctuary Raid. We only have one piece of true removal at the moment, so I think we're going to go Sanctuary Raid. We got Thievery, Centaurian, and Clockwork. I think it's just Scorpion. Okay, so we got some more decent cards. I think we go Murkwater Goblin, or Murkwater Guide, just for, again, synergy with the Savage, synergy with the Skirmisher. Decent 3-drop. I don't think we need the Sapper that much, and Spider Worker's just okay. And to that end, as much as I think Reflective Automaton is decent, I think I'd rather the Prophecy from the Gloomlurker. Although this would proc with the Murkwater Savage, or the Skirmisher, not the Savage. What other synergy do we have here? I think that's about it. It's just whether or not we want to proc the Savage or the Skirmisher. I think the Savage is more important. Plus another Prophecy would not be bad. Okay, another good set of cards. We got Broom of Profiteer, which would give us a little bit of health. Also, bet another 2-drop, which would make half of our deck 2 and 3 drops. Morthal Executioner, which unfortunately dies to an execute, but can be very snowbally. I think between the two, I'd rather go for the Broom of Profiteer. Obviously, Swindler's Market wasn't even on the board there. We had no 0-cost cards in our deck. There's no reason to consider that one. So we're going to get 1 or 2 games with this deck in this episode, and we'll see how it goes. Have a look at the deck on the left. We got a decent amount of prophecies here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 prophecies? No, 5, 6, 7. So just short of a fourth of our deck is prophecies. So that's a decent amount for an arena deck. Which means we should be able to be a little bit aggressive with people, since they can't really punch us back. Fortunately, we drew a bunch of our prophecies, but I think this is a keepable starting hand. We have a smooth curve to go off of. And to that end, I might actually consider ringing out the Croc turn 1 instead of playing Scouting Patrol. If I can save Scouting Patrol for either Priest of the 8 or the Thalmor Justicar to make sure that we get some value from them, it's not bad. Plus, pushing this out first lets us push more damage earlier. I think we want to be, like I said, a little bit on the aggressive side with this deck. Unfortunately, since we've kind of pivoted to more of an aggressive deck, or aggressive mid-range deck, I don't think Torval Crook will really be that great anymore. Also, the Clockwork Scorpions might be a little slow, but they could be good for removing some cards. I don't know. I don't think this is the worst
There's
thing.
a plan. There's always a plan.
Let's just get the Slayer out.
Just give me a name.
Worst case scenario, we get a contract.
You won't spoil
Okay,
my
let's see what else he's got. Necromancer's Amulet. So thankfully for us, we actually get Vicious Drag value.
It's nothing personal.
I know I could have destroyed that first before breaking the rune, but I wanted to make sure that we got everything off the board, and I didn't want this on the board after we swung. Let's just play the Guar for now. Give guard to the Croc. I can play this. If I had a different turn 4 play, I'd consider this. But I don't really want to ring out Knight of the Hour next turn. So we'll hang on to the Dreg, and if we do any trading next turn, we'll drop the Dreg first, more than likely. Although I don't think the 1 health is as big of a deal. Okay, so now we can definitely just go Vicious Drag, remove that, trade there, and get 3 damage in the face. So next turn, we actually can ring out a Sanctuary Raid, or ring plus contract out. I don't think we need to do that. Okay. I think we'd rather save the Sanctuary Raid for something big. So we'll probably
Try
just...
this on for size.
Okay. It's a little annoying. I think we'll take that trade. I'll take that. And then we just go Scouting Patrol and Courier.
Your orders.
Now, if he trades with this, we still have our 1/1 token to trade in to keep that off the board. Obviously, he needs to take out the Croc because we're kind of pushing a lot of damage. But I want to save the raid, Sanctuary Raid, because I feel like there's something bigger coming out soon. Okay, that sucks. Could also get the Baroness out now. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 I can push for, potentially. So we're going to hit a Prophecy. Still not too bad, though. We'll probably start pivoting towards the shadow lane as well. Doesn't look like it's the greatest prophecy if he's not playing it right away. That's a pretty good one.
Into the breach.
You waste my breath.
I'm not gonna break another rune to give him another card, but I will do one of these.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
Alright, so I can't quite Thalmor Justicar plus Sanctuary Raid just yet, but I can do that in one more turn. Plus, like I said, we've got a 1 in 5 chance of hitting Prophecy if he goes face at all. And drawing Black Dragon is also very good.
They'll need a healer.
Let me out.
Although, Sanctuary Raid still might wind up being the play next turn. I wish I had a ring, one more ring charge so I can play this together. Yep. So I think we might just Sanctuary Raid, because I don't want that getting buffed.
These streets are
And we'll
mine.
take our damage.
Acknowledged.
And we've got a whole bunch of decent cards coming up. And again, solid prophecy chances, so I don't think he's going to really want to go face, especially in this position. And even if the Baroness dies, we're getting another decent card to replace it. Is he just playing out his hand here? Or does he have something to give that guard?
Hold your positions.
Guess not. It's looking like the game.
My fight is done.
Good game, my friend. Alrighty. Let's get one more game for today's episode. I think a draft plus 2 games is a decent start to an arena run.
Challenger. What a triumph! This is a challenger
And
to
I'm still
watch.
figuring out how I want to do these arena formats. Maybe in the future, I'll cut out some games, try and fit an entire run into an episode or two.
These warriors.
Because right now arena runs take me about 3 episodes, I think, give or take, to get all the games in. I don't know if you guys feel that's too long for one arena run. I don't know. If you have any suggestions on these arena run formats, please do let me know. I'm kind of figuring it out as I go along. So this is a decent starting hand. I like having the Black Dragon in hand. Our opponent has a Scout deck, which has a lot of ways to deal with things like our Gloom Lurker. To that end, I don't think I'm going to waste a ring charge getting it out. We don't have that many
What have we here?
cards that can proc our Thalmor Justicar like we saw last game. I'll just drop the Gloom Lurker, start pivoting lanes, maybe ring out the Black Dragon next turn. That's a great play for him.
My scales move in shadow.
Very good play indeed.
Just give me a name.
Alright, so we get to keep our ring charge. Maybe get a contract next turn. Which, with all the ways we have of gaining magic advantage in this deck, it could be very, very handy card to pull. Okay.
My scales move in shadow. Let none defile our temple.
I think I'm going to do this first. See what he has to deal with this. Getting a little grindy to start this off. But actually, next turn I have potential to be able to Sanctuary Raid. He might even just pivot lanes. Try and get on out of here.
Try this on for size.
Othgar Artisan, very nice. Definitely a solid card. Second game in a row, we've seen it too.
My scales move in
Take our
shadow.
damage, take our lumps. that an enchanted plate over there as well? Oh, an assembled sentry. Wonder how many factotum he has. Factotum are a risky pick in Arena.
It's nothing personal.
I think I'm just gonna drop the Snowy Sabercat. We can clean up this lane almost no matter what next turn. Probably could have considered dropping it over here. And then next turn, I actually have completed contract synergy with this. Oh. It's a good play.
My scales move in shadow.
Let me out!
Okay, we will not proc that.
They shall have
do
nowhere
these.
to hide.
I think I'll save the ring charge for now.
The Dark
We'll just drop the Black Dragon.
and I shall cure it.
I don't think he's going to really expend too much trying to kill this. So next turn, there is potential to Sanctuary, or completed contract, ring, Priest of the Eight, then Sanctuary Raid, and get a whole lane of buff stuff. Which would give us, I think, a fully buff lane as well. But that also is contingent on him giving me something to Sanctuary Raid. So I'm not going to use it on one of these two. Crushing Blow. Okay, so never mind that.
My claws are sharp and thirsty.
Let me out!
I think you might have forgotten that we're immune to lethal.
I am death.
Oh, he did have another one of those in his deck. Nifty. I don't want to give him anything else in this lane, unfortunately. Let's just drop Baroness.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
That's pretty good.
The power of the Hist fills me.
Go ahead and swing if you want with that. Unless he's planning to giant bat it. That's going to be a really nice Sanctuary Raid.
That's me.
Very nice Sanctuary Raid.
These streets are mine.
You won't even see me.
Soldiers, report!
Your orders. Your orders.
We will kill that.
I am death.
Alright, no other ones of that card in this deck. And I think we're almost in the clear here. Obviously, he could play some big boys right about now. Kind of like that.
What have they been keeping safe for this one?
I hear and obey.
Guess we could push some damage.
You won't even see me coming.
These streets are mine.
You won't even see me.
Into the breach.
I think what I want to do is go Clockwork Scorpion and then Varanus Courier in this lane.
My sword hand itches.
Courier, because best case scenario, it eats up the Quinroll. We've got to turn up the aggressiveness a little bit if he's got this kind of late game oriented deck, though. Or it could just be these two cards.
Stand in this one's way.
This one takes what he wants.
So I've got no problem eating that with the... Okay. Got no problem eating that with my Eclipse Baroness as well. Quinroll Burglar is a huge threat, so if I get to eat that thing up, I've got no problem with it. Alright, we've got Angry Grawl.
What have they been keeping safe for this one?
Okay. So let's go Priest to the 8 first, I think.
The eight protect
What do we pull? Another Clockwork Scorpion. Okay, we can't keep this alive either way. But what I can do is
I hear and obey.
I am death!
take our damage.
These streets are mine!
Let none defile our temple.
Let me see if we can't keep the black dragon alive. I know this is a little bit of a greedy play,
This one.
but I want to try and make him use up his creatures here. Flesh Atronach. Wow. I mean, we have a jab for that. But it's definitely scary.
This one is ready for a fight.
We've got 6, 11, 15. So we're too short of lethal. Which means we unfortunately probably cannot go for it.
Into the breach!
Lead now. Go.
I think we trade this in.
These streets are mine!
We pull a marked man.
I am death!
Okay.
Wait!
This will give us
Did you hear
2
that?
makeshift defenses.
There isn't a lock that will keep this one.
We'll drop double defenses over there. Just so we don't take the 12-12 unless he pulled a giant bat. And then we have potential to go for lethal next turn with 6, 10, 13, 14, 15. Alright, so he did pull a charger. So we're going to take 12 damage at least. No jab is a little unfortunate, but we did get the skirmisher for even more reach over here. He's got 8 magicka and 3 cards to work with. But I think we have a pretty solid chance here. We almost went to deck out here. I'm at 8 cards left. He's at 10 cards left. Sanctuary Pet is a solid one. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough unless he has another Sanctuary Pet. I can go 3, 4, 5, skip the last room.
So much for a clean
I'll
escape.
take them with me.
A fine
I am
battle.
death!
And take the victory that way. So that was pretty smooth. I mean, Flesh Atronach was definitely terrifying. But things went according to plan there. I think we've drafted ourselves a pretty decent deck. We'll see the outcome over the next day or two. But let me know what you guys think of the deck. If there's any picks that you guys disagree with, let me know down below in the comments section. Also, give me feedback on the arena format, if I should cut out some games or continue to show everything. And also, let me know if you guys think I did a decent job explaining my thought process behind the picks. I'm trying to really do a better job of explaining what I'm thinking instead of just thinking it. So yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. As always, thank you all very, very much for watching. I'm DragonTamerBlayde, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.